all hope is not lost for a change. Yes, if you're one of these seemingly millions of people who've been trying to get a hold of the coveted Nintendo Classic systems, the NES and the SNES Classic, you may be in luck. In a recent press release and stated on official Nintendo Twitters, production is actually going to ramp up for the SNES Classic after previously stating production would probably start to wind down at the end of the year. Nintendo has stated they are going to continue producing the system into 2018. And the good news didn't stop there. Apparently the long sold out NES Classic system will also be making a return in 2018. All that's been said on that is they're looking at summer 2018, I believe, to release more NES Classics into the wild. And I'd also like to mention Nintendo of America President Reggie Fils-Aimé recently went on record urging customers not to pay for overpriced systems. Anything over about $80, I believe, here in the States. He said don't pay it. And more interestingly, he said the shortages have been based on the, quote, historically low sales of similar retro consoles made by their competitors. On that, I'd have to call BS. Yeah, maybe the Atari or even Sega retro systems don't move that many units, but they're not Nintendo. Personally, I don't see this as a valid excuse, especially since, how long has it been since the NES Classic was originally announced? As soon as info on that console was released to the public, Nintendo should have known the demand it would see, but even before that, it's like, come on. Nintendo is the quintessential retro gaming brand. When people think retro gaming, they think Nintendo systems. I don't know a person who didn't think this thing was going to be a mega success after it was announced. So I find it hard to believe everyone at Nintendo was just shocked by its reception. But that's in the past. The good news is more chances for people to get their hands on these systems. Good things come to those who wait, I guess. I do feel a little bit sorry for those who paid big money for one of these systems on the secondary market, but, you know, if you followed this channel, I've said we'd likely see these things again. Either re-releases of the same systems, or I thought we may see a sort of deluxe version that may bundle all the systems together, especially if we get, you know, a N64 Classic and so on. Now, if you are one of the people looking to get your hands on these systems, you're not out of the woods yet. Let's be real. Hope is renewed, but you're not guaranteed anything. The way I see it, if Nintendo had it their way, this would just be pretty much done at the end of the year, at least for the time being. I stand by my claims that they're not interested in getting into the business of selling these systems. Rather, they saw it as a fun, novelty way to push the Nintendo brand. I think it's the immense backlash from people trying to desperately get their hands on these things and the insane prices people are charging, like on eBay, kind of backed Nintendo into a corner. These things have sort of turned this whole classic system deal into negative press for the Big N, which obviously wasn't their intention. This is simply their attempt at making it up to the consumer, but I don't think we're going to see a huge influx of these things coming into stores as a result. I still feel pretty safe in predicting the demand will continue to greatly outpace supply. Maybe instead of stores selling out in 1 second, they'll sell out in 2. An improvement, sure, but not to the extent I think many are hoping for after hearing this news. But it does mean more chances. Many more, specifically for the NES Classic, which I figured was certainly going to be gone for a longer period. Hopefully they'll lengthen those controller cables for the NES Classic in the interim between releases, but I don't hold my breath for that. I honestly feel like the demand for these would be a bit diminished, not greatly, but a bit, if we had the damn Virtual Console on the Switch already. I feel like a lot of Switch owners would prefer having these games on that anyway. And I know, get a Raspberry Pi, bro! If you're still one of these people going on about how you don't get why people want these things so bad when they could just download the ROMs, I probably can't help you. But one, as I said, it's that novelty factor, the mini versions of these systems many of us grew up playing as kids, not to mention the fantastic lineup of games they chose for each system. And then there's the thing the whole ROM hack crowd doesn't really understand. Some people want to support their favorite game companies, so they will, I don't know, continue making fun stuff to play. Again, that's lost on this crowd. They start with this, and then it becomes, oh, just play everything on PC for free. Why waste money on paying for games? That's stupid. Ugh. So irritating. Anyway, I don't want to go on a rant. Basically, it's nice that we're going to have many more chances to get these systems, but I think you're going to want to approach this with the same level of urgency as you did before if you actually want to get one. And with that, this video's a wrap. Let me know your thoughts on the return of these Nintendo Classic systems in the comments. Are you relieved? As always, I'm John Zakari, and thanks for watching.